This is the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Let's go nuts! It's Jimmy Nuts! Drive out with a car!
With your hosts, Mark Martinez.
Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
And the English Professor.
It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke, the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
I'm not going to lie, I continue to listen to that intro day in and day out. I love our new intro. Again, I cannot give enough thanks to Nick Lendl and 2-to-1 Media for putting that together for us. It's great, but more on 2-to-1 Media later. Guys, my guest this week, as you can tell by our thumbnail picture, man, we have not seen eye to eye all the time. I'm your host, by the way, Mark Martinez. Yep, I'm here bringing you Can Crusher Spotlight. I don't know if I'm excited, disappointed, or what, but I have Dylan Bostic on the show, and we've been into a few tiffs around Pittsburgh a few times. We didn't see eye to eye because he's always fighting my favorite wrestlers in IWC. Yeah, that's all it is. But we do sit down and we talk about his last IWC match and what's going to be going forward with Dylan, and more on that in a minute. As I always say, I'm really excited to be partnering with Dylan a little bit on his next venture. So I'm excited. And we just sit down and we ask the normal questions that we always do because we really haven't spotlighted Dylan. So without ruining everything that's coming up here in the interview with Mr. Bostic, let's head it over to Mr. Al Snow so you can hear about Collar and Elbow and all the great gear that Al keeps producing and everything. I got my shirt on right now. Guys, if you think I'm joking, I literally wear a Collar and Elbow shirt once I get out of work every day. If it's going to go announce basketball, football, anything, it's either a regular tee or my hoodie. I always have Collar and Elbow on because it's so damn comfortable. It really is. Besides the cool designs and everything they have, it's just a comfort shirt. Today I have my normal, property of Collar and Elbow shirt on, one of the very first ones I got. And you can get it. You can get it at collarandelbow.com. So head over there, and when you check out, once you pick all your things that you want, from hats, hoodies, tees, and all of that great stuff, in the promo code, type in Can Crushers, capital C in Can, capital C in Crushers, all one word. You will get an extra 10% off of whatever is going on Collar and Elbow. A lot of cool shirts out there, and again, one of my favorite ones that has just been released a couple months ago now is the Macho Man version with Head and Al Snow in it. So make sure you check it out, and here comes Al, and then we'll be back with the Justin Bieber of professional wrestling, Mr. Dylan Bostic.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
And welcome back, guys. Don't forget, when you check out Collar and Elbow, to use the promo code Can Crushers, capital C in Can, capital C in Crushers. But it's not about Collar and Elbow right now. It's about this guy. We have never really seen eye to eye at IWC, and who knows where his path is going to be taking him He's going to punch me in the face through the computer, but he is still the Justin Bieber of wrestling to me. Welcome to Can Crushers, Dylan Bostic.
The Justin Bieber of wrestling. Haven't heard that in a while.
Right, but you are. I know you've got rid of that moniker in a long time, but I can still see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be upset about that. That's not a diss. I mean, Justin Bieber's one of the most popular people ever, so, you know.
Right.
I'll take that as a compliment.
So I'm going to start real quick with your last IWC match was against one of Can Crusher's biggest. Now, when I say last IWC match, I put that last in quotations. Are we really not going to see you in IWC for a while?
You know, I don't know. I don't want to say that I'm not going to be back at all, but, yeah, I don't know. Until Plummer can open up that checkbook a little bit more, I'm not coming back. You know, I come there and I steal the show every time, and I just don't feel like, well, the fans, you know, I don't feel like the fans, like, respect me. I don't think they appreciate me. And the same with Plummer. I don't think he appreciates me as much as he should.
Okay, well, I agree with the fans. Most of the times I don't respect you or appreciate you, but I do respect what you do in the ring when you do wrestle. I think you should be in the title hunt, the heavyweight title hunt, all the time. You know, no more, you know, high stakes or super indie, because you're that damn good.
Yeah, I mean, and it just seems like every time I get that opportunity, something happens. I get screwed out of it, or it changes to something else. So you know what? Nah, not me, man. I just won't come back for a while until Plummer comes begging me like he always does.
Oh, that's good to know that it's not a last with the air quotes, because what you do for wrestling across the board is unbelievable. And Pittsburgh, as much as everybody hates you there, we respect you.
Yeah, I think everybody there just loves to hate me, you know?
Right.
Everybody there is just jealous. I don't know. It's fun, though.
Let's rewind all the way back to the beginning. How did you find this wrestling? Was it a grandpa, a grandma, an aunt, or an uncle? Like, who said that this is the stuff you should be watching, Dylan?
So I just remember when I was like 5 years old, my mom turned it on, and it was like storming outside. My mom turned it on, actually. And the electricity went out like 5 minutes into watching this, and then I freaked out and just wanted to watch it so bad. And then finally I started watching it. I like found it on TV again, started watching it, and my cousins like were obsessed with wrestling, so just grew up around it.
Did you were you a WCW guy? Were you a WWFE guy? Which one were you?
I was both. I was both WWF and WCW. I like both.
Yeah, there's different aspects between both. Who are some of your favorites and who you try to make yourself after?
So, like, my all-time favorite is Randy Savage, and he was my first ever favorite. And then I ended up, you know, training with Rip Rogers and becoming really, really close with him. I'm still close with him, and find out he lived with Randy for a long time and everything, and then I found out that Randy and I have the same birthday, which is pretty cool. But that was my first favorite and still my all-time favorite. But like when I was, you know, growing up, I liked, you know, Stone Cold and Goldberg and DX. Like I liked everything. So like I didn't have like just one favorite. I just liked the whole show, you know what I mean? So I was entertained top to bottom. I don't know, it was an all over wrestling.
Yeah, it continues to grow with your life, too. You just get people like you entertain me and my son and, you know, the buddies, kids, and everything. So indie wrestling has done so much for us that we want to continue to say thank you to you and every other indie star out there. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming and enjoying it.
What was your deciding factor to get into wrestling now? I know you just said that it was in your blood, but when you graduate and you're working at Quickie Mart or wherever, what was the thing that said, damn it, I need to go see Rip Rogers?
So I actually, when I was 10 years old, my mom went on one date with this indie wrestler, but he ended up giving us like tickets to come to the local show in Shelbyville, Indiana. And then I just started hanging around him, and like I started setting up the ring and tearing down after shows, and then they started training me when I was about 12. And then I had my first match when I was 15. But as soon as I started going around them and like training, and like I knew this is it. I was like 12 years old and knew.
So is that your first? The word real is not right. The word real training that you had, or because I know you were in OVW and you always brought up Rip, and with us, Al Snow and our great relationship. Yeah. Is OVW where you got your main training though?
So my main training was with Tom, Troy, Van Zant, Bobby Black, and Diamond Dan Garza in Whiteland, Indiana. That was like, my main training, but I trained before the shows or whatever at New Era Wrestling in Shelbyville, Indiana. That was my main training. But then I was probably I'd probably been wrestling about 3 years or so, and I was like, well, I need to learn like psychology, and I need to get ring time in, and like I need to get like, a lot of training in. So I went down to OVW for a Ring of Honor / OVW tryout. And then Danny invited me to start coming down there to OVW to work TV and train at Rip's class. And then I was like, well, that's what I want to do anyway. So I ended up just deciding as soon as I graduated high school to go down there.
And that's where you kind of got polished, so to speak, right?
Polished, yeah, I would say polished.
Polished. Well, because you're on TV all the time.
Yeah. Because before, I could just do stuff, I didn't really know a rhyme or reason of anything. I just did stuff. So I went down there and got polished.
Yeah, that's a good word. We're going to continue with that. I'll tell you who I think you are a comparison, because I look at you in the ring. I see two people. One, a Greg the Hammer Valentine, because he does anything to win. He broke Wahoo's leg, for God's sakes. And then just the smarkiness, you're Rick the Model Martel, too. Do you see that now that I said that to you in you? I mean, you do anything to win, and you're a douche sometimes, right?
I love it. I love the comparisons. I just hope I'm better looking than Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Well, yes, you slightly are, and we'll stay away from that, but slightly a little better looking. So you got the look of Martel then.
Yeah.
You've been in the ring. You've been in the ring with a lot of noteworthy people. Can I throw 5 or 6 of them out, and let's talk about them a little bit, because I think they did a lot for you, because you started at a young age running into some of these guys, yeah?
Right, yeah, I agree.
Jimmy Jacobs.
So my worst ever match was with Jimmy Jacobs when I was 15 years old, and it just turned into me and him like fighting. It was just so bad, and every time I see Jimmy, we both just die and just talk about that match. It was so bad, but it's definitely a memory I'll never forget in that awful building in EWF in Marion, Indiana. So good.
RJ City.
I love RJ. So RJ and I met at IWC, and I just remember when Plummer was bringing me in, he's like, oh, well, we kind of already have like a guy that does like a child star kind of thing. His name's RJ City, da-da-da-da-da. So we kind of want you to change your character. And I'm like, okay. And then like we ended up just being the same character, and we just worked together, and it was a blast. And then we ended up tagging a lot in Toronto, and then turned on each other and had like a pretty good little feud. And yeah, RJ's a good dude. I like RJ. Working with him's a blast because he's very similar to what I do, and like our mindsets are very similar.
Yeah, one of my favorite teams besides the fraternity in IWC were you two. You guys' shtick was just right on. When you were part of Team LeBar, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, we had a really good singles match at IWC. Whenever I was living in California, they brought me in for I think it was like the reunion show or something, and RJ and I had a singles match that was really good. It was a very fun, entertaining match.
Oh, it's a little bit of a plug then. You can catch all those on IWC Network for only $9.99.
Hey, don't promote Plummer's crap on this thing.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
He better send me some money.
He better send me some money.
Both of us. We'll split it. We'll split the advertising.
Deal. You brought Magnus, but we all know him now as Nick Aldis, who's running the NWA. So, and you had Mickey James in that match as well. How was that?
That was a blast. I remember, Mickey, she came out, and then I cut a promo on Mickey and got the fans super heated, just wanting to end my life. And I just remember finishing my promo, and Mickey just looks at me and goes, "Shit." And I'm like, "What?" So then Mickey says a little thing, which they're going to react no matter what because it's Mickey, But then Nick comes out, and Nick, after the match, Nick was like, "Dude, I knew that was going to be a lot of fun just because whenever you're cutting your promo, how much heat it had, it's crazy." And Mickey was like, "Yeah, I looked at you and said shit because." She's like, I didn't even know what I was going to say. She's like, the crowd was so hyped. I was like, I didn't even need to say anything. That was a good time.
You are one of the best talkers in the indie circuit whatsoever. Where did you get that skill? Do you practice in front of a mirror? I mean, that's a silly question, but where do you get this? Or, again, is this just true Dylan? Is this your real life?
So it's a little bit of both. So I'll watch movies and just see the way people say things, or see what they say and just kind of get a reaction for it. And then I'll just kind of use stuff from movies, TV. But then a lot of it was practicing with Rip too. So Rip was all about promos. And whenever I went to OVW, I was terrified. I couldn't cut a promo to save my life. My first promo I ever cut in my entire life was actually at OVW in front of Jim Cornette and everybody else that was there. It was terrible. So it was just overcoming that fear and working with Rip all the time that really helped me with promos.
Your first interview in front of Jim Cornette. I mean, let's throw away what's going on now with him. But back then, and still one of the greatest talkers in the business, you had to have been shitting yourself.
Oh, I was. And he's like, "Kid," he's like, and I messed it all up, and then I completely just lost it. I just couldn't even talk anymore. But he's like, "Kid," he's like, "You're so tense. It looks like you got a board shoved up your ass." And I just started laughing. And as soon as he said that and started laughing, it honestly made me feel more comfortable. Because Jim could tell how nervous I was, I was literally 18 years old at OVW doing a promo in front of all these, OVW and Ring of Honor guys. And I was nervous, So Jim, I have nothing negative to say about Jim because I worked with him a little bit in OVW, and he was always around and stuff, and he always, seemed to like me, and we never had any issues. So I like Jim Cornette. He always supported what I did, at least.
He treats you well. If you treat him well in the business, he'll treat you well, correct?
Correct. And I don't know the other stuff. I try to stay off the social media online stuff, so I don't really know the details. I just know he has heat with everybody, but I don't know what he said or.
Good call.
I just try to stay out of the wrestling drama.
Good call. It's the smartest thing probably to do because I'm still fighting with Calvin Couture, so we'll leave that alone.
I can only imagine.
Right? All right. So you had some time on WWE. You pretty much got squashed by Ryback, but that was early on as well. So let's talk about that. When you were on WWE SmackDown, what was your first thoughts, running through your head?
I had been going for a couple weeks at that point to Raw and SmackDown and having matches before the show. So, like, at that point, I was, like, kind of used to being there. I wouldn't say comfortable, but just used to, like, okay, this is what I got to do at this time. This is what I got, you know what I mean? Like, I at least knew what to expect being there. And I just remember William Regal having this speech about promos. And he's like, you know, think about something that's really embarrassing that they could ask you to do, like if it's dancing or like, you know, whatever. He's like, think of something that would really embarrass you, be the most embarrassing thing. He's like, and then just practice cutting promos like that in the mirror or on camera multiple times, just over and over and over again, and eventually you'll feel comfortable, and that'll actually make you better at all your promos. And literally as he said that, I was thinking, you know, either singing or like dancing would be like the two things that I would just be like, hell no. And anyway, after he's done telling us to do that, he's like, but don't worry, like I'm sure you'll never be asked to do like one of those things anyway. He's like, that's just how you can practice promos. And literally, as soon as he's done with that speech, this writer comes up to me and goes, hey, here's your script for tonight because you're going to wrestle Ryback. Or Ryback actually picked me to wrestle him, but then the script guy comes over and hands me the script. This is your promo for the match tonight. It's going to be a little different. You guys are going to rap. And I'm just like, what? Like, hell no. I don't want to rap on national television. That'd be terrible. And I just remember looking over, and John Cena's sitting there, and he just smiles at me and nods his head. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Because, like, you know, that's how he started in WWE. So it's just very ironic that I get handed a script about rapping, and then there's him sitting there looking at me. And just, I'm sure he could just tell that I just shit my pants, like the look on my face. And he just smiled and nodded his head. I'm like, wow. But
what could you do after that, right? You couldn't say, no, never mind. I'll just enjoy catering again for the 7th time.
Yeah. You can't be like, no, I can't rap. Like, you're at WWE, you have no choice. You do whatever you're told.
So in those quick couple seconds, where did you get your rapping skills from? Did you call up Eminem? What was going through your head to say, shit, what kind of rap? You know, Snoop, Tupac, where were you going?
Well, you know, I was like, I'm just going to do the best I can at this, which I like rap. So that wasn't the issue. It was just doing it in front of someone. Like, and not only someone on TV, like 10,000 people there live and 1 million or 2 million people at home. Like, that was the nerve-wracking part. It wasn't the rap. It was just doing it was the terrible part.
Recently, you were also seen on AEW. Many people might not have caught that because it was quick, but you were on AEW. How is that? How is the difference between, and I know the answer, the WWE backstage and the AEW backstage?
So I don't know how it is for everyone, but like, I mean, the last time I was at WWE, I felt okay. It wasn't that like bad just because like I know a lot of the people there. But a lot of times you feel like you're walking on eggshells at WWE. You feel like everybody's like just watching you like, oh, I didn't like the way that guy walked, or they'll make themselves unapproachable so you can't like go up and say hi to them. But then as soon as you walk away, they're like, that guy didn't say hi to me or shake my hand. Like you feel like that the whole time at WWE. But at AEW, everybody's super cool. Because, you know, they're indie wrestlers that have really grinded it out to, like, get a job. So they know the grind. They know, you know, how it feels to be an extra. But I'm also friends with probably 75% of the people there. So I have a good time when I'm there, you know, because I get to hang out with friends and talk to friends and stuff. So I have a good time when I'm at AEW. I mean, I've had a good time the last couple times I've been at WWE just because I know a lot of people there, too. But AEW is a lot of fun.
Nice. Okay, before we get to the main reason why we're having you on the show, keep it short. I know you're a busy guy. 3 silly questions, and then we'll promote the hell out of what's coming up. You had the chance, and I tagged you in it on Twitter, and I'm upset that I don't know if you did anything, if you weren't picked, because I don't know everything. But this past Saturday, I just talked to Mr. Michael Herman from RetroSoft Studios, Retromania Wrestling, that we're all excited about. And you were in the running for possibly being on Indie Mania. Damn it, did you follow up with it?
Oh, my God, man. My life has been so hectic. I know exactly what you're talking about, and no, I didn't.
I'm disappointed in you.
I don't even know what that is. What is this?
What? Retromania is the newest video game coming out. It is a spin-off. Actually, not a spin-off. It is the sequel. Do you remember 1991 WrestleFest? WWE WrestleFest?
Yes.
It's the second coming of this, with the NWA, the House of Hardcore, the Road Warriors, and everybody are on it. And they're doing this Indie Mania where indie stars like you, RJ City, Jay Bradley, all are in this tournament. If you win this tournament, you are a playable character. That's why I tagged you in it. Damn it, Dylan.
Oh, my God. See, I dropped the ball. This is what I do, man. I get past the ball, and then I just drop it. You know, that's what I do.
So you know nothing about it. So great segment there on Retromania. Sorry, Mike, but you're such a great guy, Dylan. All right.
I know. I'm just awesome.
The two cheesy questions that we ask everybody. You have Mount Rushmore. I don't want to hear, the ones that Dave Meltzer is going to say or anybody. Who is Dylan's Mount Rushmore that's made you wrestling?
I would say Randy Savage, Eddie Guerrero, and probably Steve Austin.
And one more. There's 4 on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, how many did I name off?
3.
3. My bad. No, just 3. No, I'm just playing.
You can say you.
I don't want to like say one and then be like, oh, I should have put this guy on there.
The fourth one's always the worst one to pick.
What's that?
The fourth one is always the hardest one to pick. Anybody can rattle 3 off. Number 4 is like, man, if I throw Flair up there, I should throw Dusty up there. If I throw Flair up, Hogan should have been up there. How about Steamboat, because he can wrestle,
Oh, let's go Steamboat. Yeah. So I put Randy Savage, Eddie Guerrero, Stone Cold, and Steamboat.
Nice. All right, and one more silly question before we get to the main reason. You had a dream match. You can have anybody you want. Where would it be, what stipulation, and who would it be against?
So, well, obviously it'd be at a WrestleMania because that's where I'm going to get paid the most money.
Duh.
Does the person have to be alive or like current?
No. It could be anybody.
Oh, okay. It'd definitely be Randy Savage just because, clearly I love Randy Savage. And then what was the other part of it?
The stipulation. Would you want a stipulation?
Oh, no, I don't care about that. Yeah, I just want the money. And the experience of me, Randy Savage, WrestleMania, pay me.
Great. This is going well, by the way. This is probably one of the greatest interviews that's going to be on Can Crushers, is I'm giving you answers the whole time. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your new venture. Thank God you'll know something about this. January 11th in Shelbyville, Indiana, you are bringing back ASPW, and from the talent that you have on there, let me name some names because they're Can Crusher alums. You have Randall Floyd, the real deal. You have Jay Lee, one of the first women on Can Crushers. And you have Shiloh Jones, all OPW alum, all Can Crusher alum, and you have more. Gloat on the rest of the talent that you've brought to Shelbyville that night.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for this opportunity. I don't know anything about it, clearly, because every other question you've asked me, I haven't known anything about. No, I'm just playing. But, I'm really excited because, like I said, my journey started in my pro wrestling journey started in Shelbyville, Indiana, which is my hometown. The, kind of cool part about this, the building that we're running in, the Salvation Army, is literally right across the street from the building I had my very first wrestling match in. So it's, it's pretty cool for me. Been wrestling over 12 years, and coming back home, it's always cool, but coming back home and wrestling literally across the street from where I had my first match is a cool, really cool thing. But anyway, the building had been shut down for about a year now with a bunch of construction and we not being able to get people in the building or parking or anything like that. So we had to shut the show down for about a year, which I hadn't been there for a little while before that. But the guy that, has been running it, he's, dealing with some health issues and life's getting a little bit busy for him. And he just called me and he was like, I want to sell the company to you. Or, you and I can run it together. So in the moment right now, we're running it together, just helping each other out. But, he's been in the hospital and stuff sick. So it's been me trying to get everything going. But it should be good. We got a bunch of guys from OVW, like you said. We got a lot of Indiana talent too, like Jake Oman, Scotty Young, Bobby Black, Clint Poe is returning, and he's from Shelbyville, Indiana too, so that'll be a pretty big deal, because everybody always likes to come out and see him. But sorry, my dog's like eating something.
That's all right. Mine's taking a nap.
Anyway, but it should be pretty big, so I'm hoping that it draws well. The only thing that kind of sucks right now, like whenever I did my scheduling for the events, I looked up the Shelby County basketball schedule for all the high schools in the county, like football schedule, all that, and what they didn't have on the schedules yet when I made this and announced the date, they didn't have the Shelby County basketball tournament. So literally every team in the county is going to be playing that week or that weekend when we're running the show, but it should be good. But the goal about the show for All Star Pro Wrestling, the goal is we're going to start doing these once a month, and then we're going to have them filmed, and then we're going to do a post-production live stream on my Twitter like a week or two after the show. That way I can, try to help everybody get their name out a little bit more and help get my stuff more public, because, a lot of times these companies that I wrestle for, they won't post it on YouTube. You have to go and subscribe to their thing and pay money. So instead of thousands of people watching my matches, they're getting maybe 100 people to watch my matches. So I'm hoping that this will not only help me, but help other people.
Nice. Is there, I know Fight TV does something like this that they, I'm not saying little, but little, federations, organizations like you can join Fight and promote them, and they're maybe a month behind, but still it gives more viewership, right? Have you looked into Fight as well?
So my goal is to start out with just the Twitter to build up the following for the All-Star Pro Wrestling Company. So it's very easy for me to get people to click on a stream, having 300,000 followers and posting a live stream. It's easy to get people to click on and view for a little bit, but to get people to literally click a link and download an app and get on Fight TV, it will be a little bit harder. So if they don't know what it is, you know what I mean? So I feel like if I can get a following for All-Star Pro Wrestling rather than myself, get the company a following, then I can get the Fight TV deal, and then that way we'll have good numbers on Fight TV.
I completely understand what you just said there. If you give them something easy to push and watch, they love it. If they have to push, click, watch, do something else, they don't know what the hell they're doing. And that's me saying it, not you.
Yep. Yep. So it's easy to get people on a live stream to click on something they don't know what it is to watch for a second at least. To get them to get over to Fight TV will be a little bit trickier. So I think if we build up a fan base for All-Star Pro Wrestling, we build up a following and a want for the company and want for the product, then I think that I can get a Fight TV thing, and it'll be good. Be good for everyone.
Now, I know this Saturday, it's January 11th, as we're recording on the 8th of January, that this is, a couple days out, so we'll help you. Can you announce February's date? Because maybe there's no basketball going on. Maybe you can have, if it's Shiloh, come back on to talk to me about whatever. Jay Lee, I always talk to Jay Lee. We love her. Randall Floyd hates me because I don't like his hairline. But anybody else you can shuffle our way as well to help promote All-Star Pro Wrestling. We're on board with you, Dylan.
Awesome, man. I can't wait to work together. But the next show will be February 8th. So that'll be the next All-Star Pro Wrestling event after this one, February 8th. I don't have the full card out yet.
No spoilers. No spoilers. Yeah, definitely no spoilers. We don't want to do that because we don't want to know if you win the championship or what's going on. But can you talk about a couple matches that's going to go on this Saturday real quick? 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, so this Saturday, we got Jake Oman versus Bobby Black, which Bobby Black's been the All-Star Pro Wrestling champion for quite a while now, since he hasn't defended it since the company's been under. We got that match. That'll be a really, really good match to see. Then I'll be wrestling Shiloh Jones, which is really cool because I've always liked Shiloh's work, and I've actually never wrestled Shiloh before that I remember. We might have had like a tag match or a 6-man tag in OVW, but I definitely know I haven't wrestled him in a singles match. So that'll be one of the other matches. Then we got Jay Lee versus Alice Crowley. That'll be our women's match. That'll be super interesting because we don't, have too many girl wrestling matches in Shelbyville. So that'll be a good little addition. So the show should be pretty good though, but we also got Clint Poe returning. So I don't know what's going to happen there yet, but that'll be a big deal because Clint's a hometown hero. He's got a lot of friends and family in the town. So should be a good event.
Nice, guys. And when Dylan gets this link, we will also post it up on our page so you guys can go right from there and watch it as well. He'll send it over to me. I'll get it on Can Crusher's page. And I know you're busy. I don't want to keep you away from feeding your dog or whatever else you have to do today, but shout out some social medias that they should go follow from All-Star Pro Wrestling, yourself, and anybody else that you want to promote right now.
Yep, so you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My Twitter is Dylan_Bostic, DYLAN_BOSTIC. My Instagram is @Dylan Bostic, DYLAN_BOSTIC. And then you can follow the All-Star Pro Wrestling pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and all of the ads are ASPW Indiana.
Nice. All right, Dylan, I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the near future via text, whatever, sending people our way to help promote All-Star Pro Wrestling. And we're really excited to see what happens this Saturday in a couple of weeks when you send us that link.
Heck yeah, man. I can't wait.
So first and foremost, of course, Bostic is looking for more money, and that's why he's going to be taking a sabbatical from IWC. Maybe he'll return, maybe he won't. But let's focus on what he is doing. I'm really excited for All-Star Pro Wrestling, and as we talked, as you heard, we're willing to work with him. We're willing to do whatever, get some more people from All-Star Pro Wrestling on here. Maybe we can have Jay Lee back and talk about what she's doing. Of course, Shiloh Jones. Randall Floyd, again, he still hates me because I have a better hairline than him, but we'll just leave it at that. But make sure when we get this link, I'll put it up on there. Give All-Star Pro Wrestling a look, guys. It's going to be pretty much a free stream of the event that happened, but it's going to be live for the first time on Twitter, or like I said, we'll put it on our Facebook page so you guys will be able to watch Bostic's match, Randy Floyd, the list of names that Dylan talked about. So let's support them. It's indie wrestling, guys. We all love indie wrestling. We all love wrestling. So let's go out there and help out as much as we can. And as much as Dylan and I paths maybe have not crossed the right direction sometimes, we're all in right now. Let's just leave it at that. We're all in to make sure All-Star Pro Wrestling comes back around and brings great entertainment to Shelbyville, Indiana. And as you heard it's going to be a possible time that Can Crushers are going to be making the trek out to Indiana, and I'm excited because we can also knock off a baseball game out there too, as Mrs. Can Crusher is looking into that right now. Great interview with Dylan, guys. We love doing these. You're going to hear more again. I continue to say that. But if you're looking to be spotlighted, get a hold of us at Facebook or at Instagram, or send us an email, and it's cancrusher69@gmail.com. You send us a message on Twitter. However, we're out there, and head over to our website. There's links to get us an email there. Get with us. We will gladly, help you guys out. We love talking wrestling. Look, Dylan's is a little bit shorter, but that's just because there's more to come with Bostic. I can't ask all the questions that I have for him right now because he's going to be returning soon, I bet, without a doubt. So, all right, guys, that's about it. Thanks, Dylan, once again for coming on the show, and we can't wait to set up that live stream for All-Star Pro Wrestling, and we will see you guys on Sunday with our recap show and a lot more, as Royal Rumble's right around the corner, and we're excited for that. But remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.